Welcome to this edition of Parking Talks. Today we will be discussing the topic of green parking and EV solutions. As people in general become more concerned with the preservation of our planet and every sector evolves to meet consumer expectations, the traditional face of parking is also changing. Joining our discussion today, we have Ole from BlueTop Solar Parking, Johan from Control, and Bjorn from EVBox. Let's start with you, Ole. Tell us briefly about BlueTop and what your customers can expect.
What we're concerned with is solar carports, solar parking. Solar parking we see as a complete concept where you combine different applications. It's not only for covering cars, it's also for giving better customer experience. And of course, you can combine the savings you have on the electricity with possible better revenues also.
And Johan, how important do you feel EV charging solutions are to the industry?
Well, EV solutions is something that has come during the last years. And one of the main topics that it comes with is that the parking areas is getting more important since then. And due to the fact that this charging, it takes also some time to recharge the car, that give us some opportunities to give more services to the car parks. So actually what we're doing is we're putting in place the parking in a higher stage rather than years before. And that thing, it's very good for parking networks.
So it sounds as if the uptake of EV charging creates a pivotal point for other service offerings. Can you tell us a little about the investment side from the electric vehicle side of things and how you think this could affect parking management? Bjorn?
Well, the thing is that automakers are now investing $300 billion in electric vehicles. There's going to be more than 300 new models coming out within the next couple of years, 2-3 years. The shift to electric mobility is in full force. It's going very, very fast. And this represents a paradigm shift because instead of going to the gas stations, which are specific sites where you can get energy for your car, basically energy is going to be delivered to your car in the exact same way that it's delivered to your home and to everything else you do. It's going to come over the wires. And that means that the car is going to be the gas station of the future, if you will, is actually parking lots. And that means that you really have to think from the parking management side. You have to think, actually, I'm no longer only renting out real estate for parking. I'm actually providing a charging service as well.
Ole, in your opinion, what's the demand looking like for EV charging solutions?
We will face more and more needs to step by step increase the amount of chargers on our parking areas. And then what will happen, of course, is also that you need a lot of initiatives to combine with it. It also gives you some possibilities actually to combine these things with guiding installations and give better guidance also on the open parking areas. But what you will see is also in terms of electrical infrastructure, because when the volume of electricity, the need for a larger volume of electricity, when that will increase, then of course you also have to make some heavy investments in a stronger electric infrastructure. It means that it's larger cables, it's more production of electricity that's needed. Of course, you can reduce the requirements for larger cabling by making more production yourself from solar and wind. And if you can do that on your own sites, it's of course of advantage. Then you will also see at the next stage that microgrids will come up. For some airports, there might be a good opportunity to look into microgrids where you harvest electricity, but you also store the electricity at a certain area so you can use it where you're producing it actually.
The point about storing the electricity is really interesting. Do you think that we will require more power as things progress? Bjorn?
You're going to start to see parking lots actually needing quite a lot more power. Maybe not as much power as you could imagine if you have basically, if a car is parked for 10 hours and it just needs 10 kilowatt hours, which is enough to drive, let's say, 50 kilometers, then you only need a 1 kilowatt per vehicle. But you still have to think more when you're making parking lots that actually I need a lot of electricity here.
We've also seen developments in fast charging options. Juan, do you have some comments about this?
We all also believe that for parking there are a lot of opportunities in not super fast charging, but those chargers that are going to take between 1 hour or 2 hours is so it fits so perfect into the parking when it's a parking for destination, when you have to go for a mall, or you have to go to a leisure center, or you're going to the cinemas, or you're going to leave the car because you have to some stuff out there for a couple of hours. Then we also are providing DC chargers, even DC chargers at 60 kilowatts to support this kind of chargers or charging systems for a short period. But also the post that goes to the outside of the streets can also be used rather in a post or rather in a wall box inside the parking. Actually, we are doing for instance, we've done a huge project in Sweden with more than 160 chargers inside the park, a car park. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of different products that can fit into the parking area.
It's clear that Circontrol are making great strides towards fast charging. Bjorn, what sets EVBox chargers apart from the others?
We've been fortunate to win several design awards in the last year. We've brought out a couple of new products that have design that really, we want parking lots owners and real estate owners to be very proud of having charging stations. And for that to be the case, then they have to look like a real design addition to the whole location. And that's why we've invested a lot in design for the charging stations as well.
And Juan, how does EV charging fit in with other aspects of the parking industry?
We have been working for EV chargers since 2008, but also we've been working with parking guidance and linings and so on since time ago. Now we are really in that position that we see that both worlds are fitting or are matching. For us, it's crucial this tendency because we are on both markets. So it's a natural for us evolution to come with all the solutions we have for the street, to bring them also to the car parks, especially where we are strong as we are in parking. So for us, we are opening right and challenging and exciting period of time where we would like to make evident or make show to the market, as we are experts on parkings, but we also experts on EV charging. So we are very happy with that, actually.
It's interesting that you are combining parking guidance systems with EV charging. Bjorn, do you think that we will see other combinations in the future?
So one thing that we see very clearly is that EV charging is rarely a standalone business. What you see is it's a build-on, it's a bolt-on. For parking lots, it's a perfect example for that. Parking management. If you're managing this real estate, you have all the technology on site. You're just going to add EV charging to that and increase the scope of your service. And that goes for parking. It goes for energy. It goes for a lot of different sectors that can actually benefit from adding EV charging to their portfolio. And that's what I think is the big trend that and also what our listeners should be looking out for is, how can I build EV charging into my portfolio so that I do more for my customers? I am a relevant service provider because I solve bigger chunks of their problems.
Let's turn to what new developments we can expect from all of you in the near future. Ole, what does BlueTop have in the pipeline?
Well, we already developed structures for mainly all purposes and requirements, different designs. So basically, you'll see more projects coming up with new systems, and that's systems that we have already developed. So it's just step by step to going towards more real projects.
And Juan, what about Control?
Well, let me just give some highlights of that. We are this year. We especially are trying to show to the market that we are integrating both worlds. We've been working as two different divisions so far, but since last year, we realized that we could do more. We could be more strong and give a more clear message to the market if we show that we are respecting both worlds, and we believe that parking area is going to be a key place for the recharging processes. So we're going to keep this year promoting and giving the evidence, or giving highlights of how can we give all the solutions required in a car park, but with in regards to the EV charging. So not only it's going to be chargers, but also sensors and so on.
And finally, Bjorn, what does EVBox have to come?
We're working with a lot of parking operators, parking owners. We see real estate companies developing properties, and they're like, well, we have to have EV charging for our parking lot, otherwise we will not win the tenders that we're participating in. And what we see is that we can be a good partner for those companies, because we can provide them not only with the modern, attractive hardware and the flexible, integratable software, but also because we've been in this game for 10 years. We have a uniquely global outlook, so we're able to do more than just sell the technology. We're also able to help with shaping how that business should look like, and that's something that we're really keen to continue doing.
Thank you all for providing your expertise on this topic. We look forward to seeing how the green parking and EV solutions will evolve. If you would like to participate in Parking Talks, or if there is a particular topic that you would like to see in a future discussion, please contact us at editor@parking-net.com. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.